Welcome to Mampara of the Day. Today's Mampara of the Day is none other than South Africa's Department of Health. And what has the Department of Health done that is so brilliantly genius? Well, actually it's something that the Department of Health instituted a good number of years ago, which seems to have run its course. What happened was, back in the ancient past, so to speak, there was a real problem as far as the pharmacists in state hospitals and pharmacists in rural clinics. There just simply weren't any of them. So what the Department of Health instituted was, for newly qualified pharmacists would need to serve out 1 year of community service either in a state hospital or in a rural clinic in order to be able to receive their qualification, and that no newly qualified pharmacist would be allowed to go into private practice or would be allowed to work in any private capacity as a pharmacist without having completed this 1 year community service. So effectively, after getting your certificate from the university, your qualification as a pharmacist is dependent upon the signing off of your year community service. No community service, no qualification. So you can't even take a qualification overseas and work there because you are not a qualified pharmacist without your year's worth of community service, which is a brilliant way of getting more pharmacists in and through the state system and be able to fill up all of these vacancies within the state system on a rotational type of basis, and the system worked remarkably well. In fact, the system worked so well that a good number of those pharmacists that were working in their capacity as a community service 1 year pharmacist in a specific rural area would decide to settle down in that rural area and would convert their community service 1 year temporary contract into a permanent post with the Department of Health. And as a result, the number of available posts to newly qualified pharmacists has been getting progressively less and less and less, to the extent that in November last year you had 780 pharmacists writing and passing their pharmacy exams. However, of those 780 pharmacists, there have been at least 130 of those newly qualified pharmacists have not been able to be placed by the Department of Health at any clinic, at any hospital, because there are no available posts at all. So which means that you've got a newly qualified pharmacist with a shitload of student loan debt that needs to be repaid, but he or she will not be allowed to do any work as a pharmacist, not be able to secure any employment as a pharmacist, simply because the department does not have the sufficient number of posts available for that pharmacist to be able to do their community service. Now surely, when you've got a system that is top heavy like this, you can see the number of qualification posts in November. You've got 2 months to work out, these are the number of qualified pharmacists, these are the number of available posts. Surely you would have the logical sense to, instead of having a 1 year community service, we'll say, well, for 2017 we'll make the community service 10 months or something along those lines, in which case there'll be space to be able to rotate those newly qualified pharmacists through the system, because all that's going to be happening is, come the end of 2017, 120 qualified pharmacists not being able to be placed in community service will become 240, will become 360, will become 480. Pretty soon what you'll have is you'll have a waiting list from 1 year of qualified pharmacists that will be more than the number of pharmacists qualifying that year, in which case you'll have pharmacists sitting unemployed for a year, 2 years, 3 years, simply because the Department of Health cannot place them in a community service post. And that is absolute bullshit, and all that happens is that these pharmacists will be racking up more and more student loan debt because they are unable to pay even the interest on that debt that they racked up, because all they'll be able to do is pack bags in a Pick and Pay, or flip burgers in a McDonald's, or work as a petrol pump attendant at a fuel station. And that is absolute bullshit and needs to be changed that fast. That's my personal take on the matter. Post your comments and questions, criticisms in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like and share this video. If you're new to my channel, hit the subscribe button that's down there as well. And last but by no means least, till the two of us meet again, try not to get yourselves lost or killed, and I'll see you tomorrow.